Just thought I'd show you. What I did here is I used this bucket where I put the sponge filter in it, and I put 2 teaspoons of black pepper in it, and I filled it up with water and let it sit there for about a half an hour. Then I pulled the plug out of the tap at the front and this is the colour of the water that I got into the drain bucket. Now you can see that there's a very, very fine mist of black pepper in there, but there's no heavy duty particles, so like that filter is going to work fine for keeping perlite out of an aquarium pump. Just thought I'd try and attempt to show you how to saw one of these joints in half, or how I saw one of these joints in half. I've got a jigsaw attached to the thing. And there we now have the 2 pieces of the sawn jigsaw. They're pretty rough on the ends, but it's okay because like it doesn't matter much, it's just going inside the bucket as a lock ring, and it's this smooth face here which goes towards the bucket edge. Here I'm just hand drilling one of these sponge filters. You just keep on turning this thing. Oh, what I've got is the half of a joiner unit that I've just sawn. I've left it plugged onto the handle that I made, and when I pull this out, it's cut a hole down there, and all you do is you pull out the bits of foam as they loosen and keep on twisting, and that will actually form a hole of exactly the right dimensions to fit the half of a joiner unit. This is the hole as I've finished it. Now you can see that's pretty good, and it's quite a neat fit for this gizmo. And pressure will hold it there, so like that's all you want. What you do now is just cut the sponge along here or wherever really you want. But I make 3 filters out of 1 sponge of this size. That's the finished filter there, and that'll plug straight on in the inside of the bucket and glue to the outside of the bucket. Now if you don't like that lightweight sponge, there's always this stuff, which is a heavier duty sponge. You buy them in packs of 3, they're just thick sponges you buy at your local supermarket. Now if you cut the stack of 3 in half and then loop it across, you've got a stack that's 6 thick. Now that's got a super thick, super tough sponge. And if you make that stack of 6 thick, you can then glue these scourers to the outside of it, and that gives it a really tough outside. You can see that this is a little bit short, but once you put it around that way, you can see that you can get a really tough face on it. On the side, it'll go exactly 6 thick. Once you hot glue it on there, nothing is going to get through that. Tough as. Okay, the sponge filter is now finished. It's those 6 pieces that you saw. I've got scourer glued all around of them, and the edges between the scourer and the sponge are glued. Now what you'd normally, well, what I think you'd do is you'd drill your hole through there and just fit that over the end of your piece of pipe. But if you really want to, I suppose you can drill it through there and seal these other 2 sides with more scourer. Like this as a medium is going to be really thick. It'll still pass water through it, but it's going to be really thick. There is no way any roots are going to get into that.